So I know you probably came here to learn 10 skate moves that you can do in small spaces, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Learning those 10 footwork moves that they're teaching in all those videos are not gonna help you skate in small spaces more effectively. Thing that you gotta really realize is that learning 10 footwork moves that you can do in the spot isn't gonna help you actually look better. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the footwork is great, but what you really need to know and what would really take your style to the next level is to understand the mindsets and the best practices of a person who skates in small spaces. I skate in small spaces professionally. It's my thing. I'm preparing a television show. When I started preparing the television show, I realized it's not the rink. You're not gonna be able to skate all over the place. I also started skating for Instagram 5 or 6 years ago, actually like 3 or 4 years ago. So when I said that, I was like, wow, if you're gonna be making Instagram videos about yourself skating and they're gonna be selfie videos, that means they have to be more visual. And so before I get into the actual moves, I wanna break down 3 mindsets that are gonna help everything that you do look more visual. The first thing to realize and the first thing to understand is 95% of the moves that you're learning right now are made to be done in place. Crazy leg, in place. Sexy walk, dribble, whatever you want to call it, in place. Tic-tac, in place. Grapevine, probably the size of your kitchen downtown. You don't need a lot of space for any of the popular moves right now. So all of the moves are moves for small spaces.
Oh my God! Wow!
The thing that I really want people to understand is skating in a small space is kind of like dancing. And dancing is about being more visual. So what I really want people to understand more, and the biggest thing that I want people to get from this video, is how to be more visual. Yes, I will give you those footwork moves at the end. Yes, I am going to tutorialize you and let you hear some cool steps to do, but if you don't have it up here, it don't matter. It don't matter what you learn. It don't matter which moves you learn, because you're never gonna be able to look like anything. You can learn 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You can learn a jam-packed trick every single day. But if it's all standing straight up, moving left to right, all your moves look the same. Like, they look all the same. Like, I really thought about this. Sometimes when I'm thinking about my skate show, I imagine people sitting on the back row and they're watching me and they're watching my moves, and I'm like, okay, you got footwork for days, but if it's not visual footwork, then it all looks the same. What's up, boss fam? Today we're gonna be skating in small spaces. I'm setting up a cone perimeter that is about the size of the window behind me. Yep, that small. It's gonna get real. The biggest thing holding people back from skating in small spaces is their mindset. There are a couple things that you need to keep in mind. 1, levels. Skating and dancing and jamming is about creating effects. When you can move up and down and create levels, that's when you can create those effects. That's why I like to practice my levels. You can do this by practicing your squats and practicing your squats laterally. The next mindset that I like to have is angles. You need to work your angles. Sometimes I'm facing to the front, sometimes I'm facing to the left or to the right. It changes the way your moves look. The way I turn my body and the moves I choose to do when I'm facing different angles gives the crowd a different visual. So when you're skating, turning your body can give the crowd something different. And when I see a lot of people doing jam-packed trick of the day, 2 feet forward, switch your body, turn 45 degrees to the left, turn 45 degrees back to the right, repeat on the other side. Bro, that's cool. You can get it down, but understand, you can take that any direction. You should be able to take any of your moves into any direction that you want. And really being able to take them in a direction can make you feel more. For example, when I'm on stage, when I want to do a stretch move or a high kick move, I don't do it to the front. I do it facing this way. Because yeah, you can tell, oh, he got a high kick this way. But if I kick this way and you can see my leg right in front of my face, you're like, whoa, he really has a high kick. But let's say I got some lines. I got like a wave that I want to do. If I do my wave to the left, the crowd can't see that wave. But if I do my wave with my body facing to the front, the crowd can see that whole line, and it completely changes it. And that's the type of thing that you should be thinking about, and that's the type of thing that you need to understand if you really want to skate in small spaces effectively. Mindset number 3, skate with your arms. Skating with your arms looks completely different, and it looks a lot better. Mindset number 4, use the whole space. Even if it's small, I'm moving to the front, the back, the left, the right. Use the entire space. This one is going to come back a little bit later. You can see all of these tenets in each of these tricks. So I'm moving my arms. Now I'm going to use the entire space. And now the tricks look completely different. You won't be able to use each mindset on every single trick, but that's not the point. It's good just to keep these in mind. For example, I can move forward and back with my bubbles easily, but I have to pivot to move left and right. Number 3, the dribble. All you're gonna do is move your feet back and forth. Check it out, no arms. Check it out with the swag on that thing. That's where you gotta move them arms. It's also really easy to move. Trick number 4, the salsa steps. This comes from our break dance, and it's going to be a jam skate move. You're going to step and then step in front of yourself. You can also do this by stepping behind yourself. If you want to get fancy, mix it up. Sometimes I go to the front and then I'll go to the back. It's all about dancing. For this, you're not going to be stepping directly in front of your feet. You're going to be stepping in a diagonal, and then you're going to push out to a diagonal. This is also much safer than trying to step directly over your foot. Turn your hips 90 degrees to the left, and you're going to slide backwards on your heels. You can do this without your arms. You can also do this with your arms. It's easier to do this if you put one of your feet on your toe as you shoot back with your heels. This one is coming out the MJ handbook, and it's super steezy. You're gonna start off by turning your feet out and then into the W and then back out. This is what it looks like inside the choreo. Shimon! Shimon! Watch closely. First, I bring my feet to turn out so I can push them into the W. After I get into the W, I push them back out and come down to the squat. Each step is important. This doesn't work unless you do all of the footwork. Ow! The boss knee is super duper essential. It is my number 1 go-to to get onto the ground while I'm jam skating. I jump out and then I put my toe back and I drag my body down. I take a knee, nice and slow. Toe back, bring my body down. Notice how I use my hand to slow myself down. Do not slam your knee in the ground. It's not worth it. While we are dribbling, we're going to put our foot in the front and we're going to use it to pivot 180 degrees to the other side. This goes back to our mindset. Use your angles. Be purposeful with your arms. Yeet. Yeet. The step touch might be simple, but it is 100% efficient and effective, especially when you use your arms. You gotta dance. I explain how to do the boss pivot in my spin guide, so check that out to figure this move out. I also like to use this to get extra rotations and to dance with. It's not just to practice the spin. You can cook them on up. Pivot, dribble, what's up? The most effective way to skate in small spaces is to change your mindset on what it means to skate, jam skate, roller dance, whatever you're calling it. In all honesty, you only need a square to skate in. All of your footwork is stationary already. A lot of times we assume that we need a lot of space because we're so used to skating in huge rinks or skating at the park. When is the last time you seen a dancer dancing anything that wasn't small space? Think about it. So take some time, really incorporate some moves and focus on dancing and not just doing tricks. Practice dancing in an 8. A lot of times we're skating at rinks or parks and we assume that we need all the space that is given to us when in fact, all you need is this 8. If you're skating in a large area and you can't skate in a smaller area, it's because you don't have the control to skate in a small area. It's actually extremely possible to do 8 in your kitchen, but you might not have that control yet. So make sure that you're skating in 8 and specifically dancing in 8s because this will really change your ability to skate.